All right, let's just jump right in. Most of us are taught to think that tough times, especially early on, well, they just break you. But what if that's only half the story? Today, we're going to explore the incredible and often completely unseen strengths that are actually forged in the fire of the toughest circumstances.
And this right here, this is the big idea we're going to unpack. It's such a powerful and kind of mind-bending statement, isn't it? That from real loss, from feeling totally isolated, something powerful can emerge. A kind of strength you can't get from a textbook or a lecture. It has to be lived. It has to be built.
So that leads to the obvious question, right? What is this power? I mean, how on earth does something so painful end up creating something so unbreakable? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into.
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to look at the science of it all. This isn't some kind of feel-good magic. There's real psychology at play here. It's a process of adaptation, of growth, that literally reshapes how you see the world and your place in it.
So the first big concept is something called post-traumatic growth. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've all heard of post-traumatic stress, right? Well, this is its transformative counterpart. It's the incredible idea that a deep, deep struggle can actually lead to positive change.
And this is where it gets really interesting. See, post-traumatic stress is about surviving. It's about making it through the storm. But post-traumatic growth, that's about looking at the rubble left behind and building something new, something stronger. It's about a deeper appreciation for life, for relationships, for your own inner grit. It's the difference between just surviving and actually thriving.
All right, the next piece of this puzzle is called stress inoculation. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a vaccine, but for adversity. By facing down really big challenges early in life, you essentially build up a kind of psychological immunity. So future problems, they just don't hit you with the same devastating force.
And think about what that does to your mindset. I mean, if you feel like you've already lived through your worst day, what's left to be truly afraid of? It creates this unique kind of calm, this quiet confidence that, yeah, whatever comes next, you can handle it.
So all of this shift in perspective, it leads us straight to the absolute bedrock of this inner power. Because when you can't rely on the world outside to hold you up, well, you're forced to learn how to build that support system inside yourself, an unshakable one.
And in psychology, this has a name, an internal locus of control. It's a fancy term for a simple but powerful belief that you are in the driver's seat of your life. When you don't get that constant praise or validation from the outside, you learn to source your self-worth from your own actions, your own integrity. It becomes a foundation that no one can ever take away from you.
And look, this lays out the difference perfectly. Someone with an external locus of control, they kind of feel like a passenger on a boat, just subject to the whims of luck or fate or what other people think. But with an internal locus, no way. You are the captain. You're holding the wheel, you're reading the maps, and you are setting the course.
So, okay, what happens when you put all these pieces together? You've got post-traumatic growth, you've got stress inoculation, and this powerful internal locus of control. Well, they don't just stay as ideas in your head. They forge real, tangible, and honestly, incredibly rare strengths.
First up, radical self-reliance. This flows directly from that internal locus of control we just talked about. It's that deep, gut-level knowledge that you can depend on yourself, that you can solve problems, face challenges, and find your own way. Next, you get this amazing calm under pressure. And where does that come from? That's the stress inoculation in action, right? When you've weathered huge storms before, the smaller squalls don't rattle you. When everyone else is panicking, you have this ability to stay centered.
And third, there's resilient optimism. Now, this isn't some naive sunshine and rainbows belief that nothing bad will ever happen. Oh no, this is the core of post-traumatic growth. It's a hardened, realistic optimism that's built on the proven knowledge that you can survive bad things and you can even find meaning on the other side.
So let's just pull this all together. What does the architecture of this power look like? It's radical self-reliance, an unshakable calm under pressure, and that hard-earned resilient optimism. And you know what else often comes from this journey? A heightened empathy for other people who are hurting. These aren't gifts, they are strengths that are forged.
When you see it all laid out like this, it gives you a totally new lens to look at your own story, doesn't it? It's not about pretending the hard stuff didn't happen. Not at all. It's about understanding the unique and powerful structure it built inside of you.
And if there's one thing to really take away from all this, it's this.
Your history, especially the parts that were the hardest, isn't a liability you have to hide. You can choose to see it as the very training ground where your most formidable, most unique strengths were born.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. We're so often told to see our scars as just damage, as things to be fixed. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if your deepest wounds are in fact the very source of your greatest, most unteachable power?